Hey, this is Ghost Robo, and we are back with part 3 of our Fable 3 Princess walkthrough. And there's a bunch of bats. Ugh, get out of my face, you bats. So we're going to start right off with a bang. Boom! Fire spell. Take out these bats. The controls are a little bit unwieldy here. You just tap B, you kind of cast an area effect spell. If you hold B, you can direct it. And as you can see, we're gaining a lot of experience points. There's no longer colored orbs. It's all going towards the same little XP meter up in the upper left corner. Walter is a terrible shot because he is not killing any of the bats, and his gun is not firing anything at all. And our dog doesn't seem to care. There's a lot of insanity kicking off right off the bat here. That's a terrible, unintentional play on words with all the bats flying around, but there's a fire spell shot out, directed at a specific enemy. Walter's clearly impressed, and why wouldn't he be? He can't hit anything with his little pistol, so I'm sure he's impressed with a king, or queen, or princess, whatever the heck we are, who can fire fireballs out of her hands and take the bats out with ease. There's all these statues in the walls, but apparently you can't interact with any of them. And this is a very, very, very massive and expansive cave here that is apparently underneath the castle leading us away. Here's an interesting door. Let's check this one out. Gold keys needed. We do not have any gold keys. I know there's a lot of like demon doors and different things in Fable 2. That was sort of some of the more, I guess, late game side quests, or maybe they were throughout, but I didn't really encounter them until later in the game. And they weren't too... I wasn't too excited by them, so I'm not planning on coming back once I find a gold key, if I do find a gold key. But here are more bats. Why can't we just run past them? Why are we so concerned with making them bleed all over? Because they are dropping some blood and dropping some XP. Jasper just hides behind Walter. He's not helping out or doing anything. Our dog, I think we just roasted him. And there we roast Walter. Walter's firing again aimlessly. And so far the combat in Fable 3 is okay, not great. I feel like there's quite a bit of a hang-up time after you press a button before the attack actually carries out, and you can kind of queue up a couple of attacks. It's not very instantaneous. I'll get caught in an animation of firing my gun, and then I'll have to pull out my sword, and it just doesn't seem to be so effortless thus far. Maybe it'll get more engaging once we require some more spells, or the gun or the sword morphs into something more incredible. We are finally, looks like, making our way out of this cavern here. Oh my gosh, more bats. More bats, says Walter. And we're going to take them all out. He is no good, not much of a help. And something that I saw once or twice in the comments was people asking, do you ever shut up? Do you ever be quiet? I can't hear the game. So I'm going to honor that request. And here is me being quiet. So, I hope that was incredibly exciting for the few of you who don't like commentary in a Fable 3 Princess walkthrough with commentary. But, I'm going to talk over everything. I don't really... If you want to play the game, go play the game. If you want to watch the game, I think it's far more interesting to be discussing it as we go, as opposed to just letting you watch the game. It's going to be a pretty boring 10-hour movie of me running through Fable Land here. And so I think it keeps it a lot more fun and engaging when we've got something to talk about. And so far in Fable 3, there's a lot to talk about. It's kind of crazy. There's a nice dead end with nothing to go to. But I think we are approaching the exit here. Yes. There's light on the horizon. We are alive. We are moving out of the catacombs. Ooh, look at all these candles here. And how are they still lit up? Some pretty impressive godfire or something going on there. They must have prayed real hard to keep those going. Here's another one of these gates that we can cast our fireball spell on. And apparently activate something, do something crazy with it. So our mother was apparently a great queen, a master cavern builder, and a magician of sorts, as she's designed a little seal that, when fired upon, warps us, Star Trek style, right out of the cave. And now we are entering a giant room with nothing on the walls. Oh my! Jasper falls over. And we look like a statue, a mannequin standing there, and all the spider webs draw in. The drawing so far has been pretty terrible. Not impressed with the graphics at all. The opening cutscene was fantastic, and since then it looks pretty dated. And I believe, based on the signs above all these doors, that this is the 3D menu. Right now we're actually physically, I guess, in the room, but later we should be able to access this at the press of a button. Oh, Jasper has been left a magic book with a giant colossus on it. Maybe if we shoot that with fire, it will turn into a talking book or attack us or something crazy. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to let Jasper read from it. We're going to stand right next to him. Wow, we look huge. We are very tall comparatively to Jasper. Walter looks like a pretty big dude, but Jasper is tiny little guy. And so things are moving a little bit slow to start. We're at what? About 45 minutes of tutorial, 40 minutes of tutorial so far here. It's kind of a long time to get started. I know they want to set up the story, but like I mentioned last episode, I'm not really a big fan of these huge mandatory, explain every little detail tutorials that are filled with aimless walking. We walked through the entire cavern with not much to do. We killed some bats, and we watched Walter falter with his gun. But now it looks like we're about to get going, and we're going to gather some followers, which is kind of, I think, the main objectives that will be pieced out throughout the game, acquiring this group and acquiring this group and getting their support. And I'm not sure if we're evil if we can just have no supporters or no followers. I don't know. That's an option. I don't know how it would figure into the end game if you're just like, well, I'm by myself and I'm going to go kill you one-on-one with no backup. Logan, I feel like we could take him, but I don't know. So here's our fast travel system, and there looks to be couple locations, but we can only travel to one, the Dweller Camp, who, as Walter and Jasper just mentioned, is the first faction we are going to attempt to recruit to our cause. So I don't know if it, maybe evil and good both lead to you recruiting everybody, and it's just sort of how they respect you once you become queen. Maybe that's how it works, because I don't think it's possible to not recruit anyone. It would sort of make all of these missions and objectives a moot point. So we have another lucky little magic portal, and of course, we enter a snow level, because everybody loves weather-themed levels. Lava, snow, or element-themed levels, I guess. Lava's not really a weather type. If it was, it would be some pretty dangerous weather. But here we are, like I predicted, in a very poor village, with a bunch of people walking around with patchwork clothing. And always, the revolution begins in a poor area. You can't start a revolution without some crazy poor people. So we're going to interact here with Talia the Dweller. And she, we belch right at her and gain some experience for it, I guess, Fable 3 is a weird game, similar to Fable 2. The only game I know of where you can burp and gain XP towards acquiring new attacks. pretty random. This interaction system is a little bit creepy. You're just walking up to everyone you know and shaking their hand. I would feel really awkward if I was just, moseying around my town and someone came up and burped in my face or shook my hand or danced with me, or it seems like a very unnatural interaction to just walk up to random strangers and start talking to them. There we have Talia the Dweller, and we will shake her hand. They've got all the achievement trackers like a lot of games employ nowadays, where it's showing you, oh, you interacted with 4 out of 200 people, oh, you've killed 70 of 500 enemies for the achievement for killing 500 enemies, which I like. I like the constant reminder that I'm making progress, and it kind of encourages you to maybe focus your style of play in a certain direction. But, all these people standing around just waiting for me to shake their hands kind of grosses me out. Hopefully we have a lot of Purell with us, because this does not look like the cleanest town around. And here we are at a wooden gate, and we're looking to speak with Sabine, the leader of the Dwellers. And apparently he is sexist and doesn't want to speak to a girl. So Walter's going to go and lay the groundwork for our final blow that we will deal apparently a little later. Right now we're going to go find some new clothes to match up better with the locals, and apparently give our money away to people. Heck no, we are not doing that. We need all that cash for buying different colored hair, new weapons, properties. Something I did like about Fable 2, the economy. You know, how you could buy houses and have them be earning income for you, and shops, and get discounts and change the prices. Whoa! There are some crazy skulls on the wall. Who's been killing some dudes around here? Probably this little boy or girl who's quietly walking away. So we're gonna go get some clothes. None of these places are really designated as a shop, but that looks to be a little half mannequin. So we're gonna talk to this guy, Jeff the trader. Everybody's a whiner in this village. Put your chin up and smile. Stop whining. Where did you come from? We came from the underground, the magic catacombs filled with bats and sewage and magic teleporting gates. I don't know if this is a glitch, but there is no clothes to buy there. So we're going to zoom forward as I peruse the entire town looking for clothes, go back to get some hints from Walter. I probably spent about 6 minutes actually wandering around looking for clothes, because the first time I went to that clothing shop, there was nothing there to buy or to do. So after we dirty our hands with the germs of the dwellers and run up this mountain where there's apparently nothing going on, a nice empty space, maybe we could buy that house later and look down upon all the poor little dwellers. But right now, we are looking for clothes. Do you sell clothes? No. You know, Fable 3, I kind of forgot around this time that you don't talk to people to open up shop prompts. You just go and walk up to the item you want to buy and click the button. So we're going to go back to Walter again for some advice. He opens the gate and we can't go through, but he can. Where are the clothes? I don't know. And eventually you're going to see that we're going to end up right back where we started, at that little clothing store, which I rightfully thought was a clothing store, but now, shabam! There are clothes there. Apparently we have to don this disgusting little outfit with a giant bronze circle at the center. We have to buy all of this, forcing us to spend our money. Whoa there, naked mannequin. Watch out. We gotta buy. Thought we could avoid maybe buying those pants or avoid buying the bandana, but we are required to take it all. It's kind of annoying that you have to buy it and then an extra button press to accept it, as you see there, which doesn't really make much sense. There's kind of a lot of interface issues that I had with Fable 2, and some of them seem to be present again in Fable 3. Hopefully that 3D menu that you saw briefly before will improve things, and actually we're going to access that right now. But apparently pressing start at this point does not allow us to access that menu, so I don't know what's going on. And there is an example of something I really do not approve of in Fable 3, which is the fact that me casting that spell in the middle of the town, right on that guy, does nothing. You know, you shake his hand, and he has a reaction, you burp in his face, and he has a reaction, but I can cast a fire spell and ostensibly light him on fire, and they don't care. You know, that's kind of uneven. So here we are in the 3D menu, finally, and then you have little plaques to access the option menu, access your status, you got a co-op, trophy room, and we're going to enter the dressing room to change our clothing. Oh no! I'm just now realizing that I've been using the built-in computer microphone to record this entire video instead of my Blue Yeti stereo mic. I'm going to cry. Oh my gosh. If it doesn't sound as marvelous as normal, that is the reason why I've been using the built-in mic on my iMac and not the Blue Yeti, but we'll make sure to get everything back on track for next episode, as we here in the process of declothing our princess. And actually, she looks pretty good. No. But we must put back all of these dweller clothes on in order to be accepted by the dwellers. And I thought I could get away with maybe not wearing this ugly bandana, but apparently you were required to wear the entire outfit. So yeah, there we go, taking out the bandana, and we'll have to put it back on because we need to wear the complete dweller suit in order to blend in and meet Sabine. So as we wrap up this clothing process, we're going to wrap up this episode, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and look forward to part 4 coming very shortly, where we will meet Sabine and get this playthrough kicked off for reals. But until then, we will see you later. Though I suspect that